you. I can see Varad is there, Dhriti, right? Rahul, Bhagya, all you have just joined a week ago, right? So one thing I want to tell you, if you are like whatever sir is covering today, it is like covered already. It is like you can say 20% syllabus of mineralogy, crystallography chapter, right? So you might अभी समझ में नहीं आ रहा होगा, right? It is actually the toughest part of geology. So मेरा first advice to you is like I was also observing, sir was also observing, he would have also pointed out कि at least be more interactive, right? These are online classes. Until and unless you don't interact, you ask question, you respond to the mentors, questions. Learning will be more fluid, right? So do this one thing. Another thing is like just I want to tell you that ki like lot of you were asking in the morning also ki do chapter ho gaye hain, like what all is covered. So till now we have covered only two chapters. One is general geology, another one is geomorphology, and we have covered part of crystallography, that is part of paper 2 unit 1, right? So like my one first advice to you all is that I would not suggest you to start your geology preparation with crystallography, right? If you have covered crystallography earlier before prelims, you are like part of the course, that's all right. Otherwise I think you should skip crystallography, and like sir will start mineralogy from today itself or maybe from the next class, right? So do that. And I think Lawrence sir, if somebody not don't cover crystallography and directly jump to mineralogy, I don't think there will be an issue, right? There'll be much issue in understanding.
Yes, only part I would say which you also study in 12th class chemistry is those 7 crystal systems are there. Okay,
Hmm.
because this part will come under optical mineralogy also, crystal, when you go crystal groups. So
Yes.
these names are there where you have those relation A, B, C crystal axes are there, and
Yes. Yes.
alpha, beta, gamma, these are those angles. Okay, so if you Google or you just go through this lecture on these, so just at least there is a simple table. Okay, I can show it to you here also. Just try to memorize that and try to draw some of the shapes. For example, what I drew here was tetragonal. Okay, like this. A cube will be in which all sides are equal, all angles are 90 degree, like this. A hexagonal system will be like this. At least these kind of figures you try to draw. It is very simple. Okay, 20
Hmm.
30 minute job, not more than that. Orthorhombic will be like this. Okay, so try to draw some of these figures, just to get familiar with what is like basically all these crystal systems. And then I think that is the basic thing that you should know. Other than that, it's
Hmm.
not really required. There is
Hmm.
one another lecture which is part of igneous but has been covered, is usually covered as part of mineralogy. Okay, because sometimes these felsic mafic terms, they are very common. Okay,
Hmm.
and you should know a little bit about how crystal sequence is taking place. Okay, so in igneous, okay, there is a topic which is called Bowens reaction series. So other names are reaction principles. This you will find is like one of the first topics that was covered in the course. And in this, because you see most of the why we cover it part of mineralogy, because the sequence that you see here, okay, olivine, okay, pyroxene, all some names are there. So you will become at least familiar with these names. So once you
Hmm.
try to memorize it, you will see, okay, there is something pyroxene, there is something olivine. Rocks will form from combination of minerals. So it is better to just cover this here in part of mineralogy, and you will become familiar with at least these terms: olivine, pyroxene, amphibole. Once you have drawn this in your notes, now these will keep coming again and again. So once, because we will study them in different mineral groups, so then you will know, okay, what is olivine, you will have some context. Okay, why these minerals are. So just study these two topics: 7 crystal classes and Bowen reaction series, then you will be good to go. Okay.
Right. Right. So, like, see, your order should be whenever you get time, you should complete general geology and geomorphology. That is already there on your portal, right? They are very easy GS like topic. Geomorphology, you prepare with GC Long also for geography also, and general geology is also basic knowledge, right? But they are technical from geology point of view. So do cover them. Do not leave them. They are very scoring, right? So they are easy topics. Apart from that, I would like you for all those who are new to skip crystallography for now and directly like cover from the live lectures from mineralogy. I will be taking mineralogy and then subsequently igneous meteorology and metamorphic from on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday I will be taking a different topic, right? Mostly sedimentology. So they are not related anything with whatever we have covered. So they are standalone topic, and you will be able to cover them, right? So do not worry that you have missed, or like you don't start missing the live classes, right? So attend the live classes. You will follow. That is my one of the first advice, right? The second thing is, there are some people, right? I think Uttam is there and some other people. They are writing civils as well as forest 2022. So all those people, they get connect with me on Telegram, right? I will give them access of few of the units beforehand also, right? So that your attempt is not compromised, your geology is covered beforehand, right? So we'll give you that support. So do not worry about the syllabus coverage. We'll ensure that you cover your syllabus much before the time, right? These are the two things. And like one thing again, like just now there was a call that they want, like they could not, there are some people who will not be able to attend live classes because of job, because of some other, some other things, maybe they are going to college or something like that. So for them, like we also talked, for the best strategy for you should be, if you are not attending live classes, you should fix a time of your day. This is the time when you will watch the class, right? Maybe it is maybe 9 to 11:30 in the night, or maybe 7 to 8:30 or 9 in the morning. So fix that time and watch the live class, like today's class, maybe tomorrow or tonight, at the fixed time, right? And watch it like a live class. Maybe you can like 1.25x it, something like that. But watch it at the same time, so it will ensure that there are not backlogs, and you can work along with our classes. You can ask your doubts on Telegram group. Maybe we can sometime arrange doubt classes on weekend, right? So for those people who would not attend, I think this is getting recorded also. So
Yes.
it will be for those who are not here, they will see there also. So for them, this is the best advice. This is the best strategy. Like, fix your time. That recorded class should be like your live class, right? So watch it in full. Don't take break. Don't go for a stroll or for dinner, something like that. So that is like one thing. And another thing is, like again, like I, based on our experience of last year, sometimes what happened, what I'm telling you to skip crystallography, is that crystallography is just 5% of the geology syllabus, but it actually is difficult, right? We also agree it is difficult. And 90% of the mentors, 90% of the people outside, right, they don't even cover crystallography in good detail, right? But Lawrence sir has covered it with like great depth, with full understanding in our classes, right? So I think when you are done with 2 3 chapters, then you jump to crystallography and cover it. That is one thing. And another thing is that we did it last year also. When sir is like fully done with crystallography, I'll take a very small lecture, right? That is 30 minutes of lecture, where I will try to give you something that how you can rectify this part of crystallography, right? Not everything, like sir was talking about notation. There are some forms, these you have to practice. But there are certain things like crystal classes, all these things, which I will try to share a few of our very short notes and all those things. So it will be like crystallography will be there in 2 pages. You just mug it up, and it will serve at least 70 80% of your question in exam from crystallography, right? So my just worry was, you don't get scared of crystallography or even mineralogy, right? Now about mineralogy, which is the next topic which sir will be starting, right? About that is that it is, though it is just one unit of the syllabus, but if you'll see, right, as geology hall as a whole, its syllabus is up to 15 to 20% of your civil services syllabus. So if you are able to complete mineralogy completely, it is like completing 20% of a syllabus, despite it is just one of the 12 units, right? So don't get overwhelmed by mineralogy. Just conceptually cover whatever sir is saying, and then we will also cover the factual parts, right? So once you are done with crystallography, petrology, this is the core geology. If you are comfortable in these 3 4 topics, then 8 9 topics will be like butter to you, right? You will be able to score great in that, and you will start enjoying geology. So just have some patience for at least a month, or 50 days, and let maintain your focus, maintain your perseverance to it. Just keep doing it, right? It will fall in line, and you will have very good clarity in geology. So just keep these 2 3 things in mind. And if you have any other doubts about the timing, about anything, or right, so then we can clear for like 5 10 minutes, and then we'll continue with the class, right? About the class, I told you there will be 2 units going on simultaneously. One will be taken up on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Another one which will be taken by Lawrence sir. Another unit I will be taking up, it will be mostly from paper 1, sir will take from paper 2, something like that. So we will cover both the papers simultaneously. I will take up on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Sunday will mostly be a break. Sometimes if we need extra class, we can have that class that day. We can have sometimes extra classes on that day, right? So this will be the pattern, and right, we'll go slowly so that you can all cover up. So if you have any other doubts, especially those new people, Dhriti, Varad, and Rahul, Bhagya, you can please ask. Otherwise, we'll
Yeah.
begin with the class.
And one thing, most of the times the questions will be very direct. Okay. So, for
Hmm.
example, this system na international rotation, which we just covered. Okay. So this is entire topic. There is only one question which is asked in exam. Write a note or describe international system of crystallographic notation. Okay. So initially you may find, okay, what are these rotation, roto inversion, all these things, but ultimately this is one page's entire thing that you have to write in that. There is nothing more complicated than that. Okay. So usually in geology here these questions will be very direct that are asked in the exam. Okay. And you have to be also a little bit strategic. For example, here covering this point, this topic is like what, 10 minutes topic. Okay. This topic, projection diagrams, to understand can be a little bit complicated, and sometimes bouncer questions have come where they've asked you to interpret the projection diagram and come up with a crystal class, but that has happened like once or twice in 10 years. Okay. Crystal defects. If you open your NCRT, you will find answer to this one. This is like in NCRT, usually I think with civil services preparation, you are in habit of covering at least one NCRT in 1 or 2 days. This is like one part of one chapter. Okay. So crystal defects will be just one heading in one of the chapters in your NCRT. So I think you have remembered this term: point defects, line defects, shorty defects. So these kind of topics are always there. So please focus on these also, because in these the number of questions that can be made is very limited. Similarly, this is Bragg's law. So even in crystallography, 60-70% of the syllabus is like 2 hours syllabus, 2-3 hours syllabus. Only few things, for example, this symmetry and classification of crystals into systems. Okay. So these are I would say this is just like part number one, which takes up most of the time. Okay. And which Mayank sir will cover, basically will help you revise also with this one. And in this one also,
Hmm.
classes of symmetry, crystal systems and classes. So classification of crystals into systems and classes. So there are 32 classes. You have to do only normal classes out of these. Okay. And some concise notes are also given to you for these classes. So, and Mayank sir will go through that revision part. So it's there is nothing to be scared of. This is like
Hmm.
very simple syllabus. One thing also,
Hmm.
I mean, we want to go to mineralogy. Okay. So one part was covered in mineralogy, which was physical and chemical characters of rock forming silicate mineral groups. Okay. So when we will study those silicate mineral groups, there will be things such as what is color of this mineral. Okay. What is hardness, what is density of the mineral, these kind of properties are there. Okay. So this part also I would say, at least because now we will cover optical mineralogy, uh, this one, go to this mineralogy introduction slides. Okay. It is very simple. If you know like ninth 10th standard science, what is density, what is malleability, ductility, metals and non-metals, this you would have studied. So it is kind of like that thing only. In metals, non-metals, you studied those properties. One is conducting, other is non-conducting, density, luster, transparent. So these things. Okay. So these were just some definitions. So in this one, there are some properties like what is color, streak. So one line definition of these. Okay, just study for a while. So what these are, because again when we go to crystal groups, this part you should know. Okay. But these are like very simple properties. They will not even directly ask you about these, so you have to just understand these. Okay. No need to like prepare detailed notes of these. You know, like what is magnetic, these elastic, ductile, these things you have studied in science also when you study properties of metals, non-metals. So just go through these. Either you can go to lecture, if you don't want, you just can go through these slides, so that when we go to those mineral groups, you know, like in the mineral group we will say the density of quartz is 6.25, 2.65 gram per cc. So you should know what density is. So this part also you cover. Okay.
So okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll like sir will continue with the class.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Diti.
Yeah, actually, sir, I have just recently joined the class in the last 2 to 3 days, whatever time that I have got. I have tried to somehow cover in part to part the mineralogy part. And there I had a doubt, like in the topic of luster. Sir has told that to remember 2 to 3 examples of that. So, sir, how will we know that which example is important or which is not important? Suppose if I just skip one example and accordingly in that exam, that example is going to ask.
Dhriti,
So,
this is
just
not a
asking.
objective type exam where they can ask you anything. Talk, what is luster
Yes.
of what is tall? This is a subjective exam, UPSC. Okay. If let's
Okay.
say they ask you anything about that, it is your choice. Okay, you are, it is like some guest have come to your house and you will cook whatever food like you think they will like. Okay, so it is kind of like that. So that food you are going to cook should be easy for you to cook also. Okay, it's not like what is food is more important. Okay, so whichever you find easy, okay, focus on that. Don't think that this is an objective exam. They will not ask you, right, what is luster of or what is Mohs scale of appetite, or this part Mohs scale at least you should know. But they are not going to ask you specific question. Okay, very very specific
O-
question. What they will ask
okay,
you
sir.
is write a note on any, I mean, I'm telling you type of questions that usually it will ask. The same thing is true for geomorphology. How UPSC will ask question: describe 5 erosional depositional landforms of, let's say, coastal system. Okay, coastal landform. There they will not ask you like they ask in objective type exam, what is a fjord, what is a spit, what is a bar. They don't ask questions like this. You know coastal landforms I've studied, so you have to write choose any 5. Similarly here also they will ask you describe any physical chemical properties of which are studied in hand specimen. So you will, there is limit, list is endless, but your time and space in notebook is not endless. So you will have to you have to be comfortable with that. Okay, you don't have to study it like an objective exam. Okay, like gate net or those, you have to study it like a subjective exam. You have to think ahead that this question will come in exam, then I will write these points and I will give these examples. Okay, and then just move to next topic. Don't get stuck in one.
And you know, you should see previous year questions also. I have just now shared a file on group also, on our private Telegram group. So there are, you know, previous year questions for civil services. They are not exhaustive, but they will give you good idea. So before starting a, like, you have some doubt on this topic, you just see what kind of question UPSC is asking. Then it will be easier for you to prepare the notes, right? So prepare, like, do keep seeing previous year questions. We will keep sharing it along with the unit also, and I've also shared a small compilation on the group just now, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other questions?
So sir, you can like carry on with like whatever revision you were doing, right?
Okay.
And thank you, sir.
I'm just adding those previous year questions also. Okay. So compilation of both civil services, I'm also adding like to the course itself. Civil services and IFOS.
And sir, we have also shared this indicative solutions, right? They are
Yes.
beta solutions. So zaruri nahi hai ki you always see the solutions. You can sometimes just go there and see the questions also from there also, right? So
Yeah.
like previous year questions, you all should keep revisiting every 15 days, 10 days. Like they are the boundary of your preparation, right?
Yes. So yeah, and let me show these to you also. So like this some CSC. This list is like final last year's questions have not been added yet, but you will see like overall pattern of these questions. Okay. So from mineralogy 2013-14. So subject wise also these are there. Okay. So usually, so once you go through that part, you will be able to understand it. Basically, questions are usually very direct in each of these. This was the only bouncer question that I was saying it was asked in 10 years. Okay, but not many are asked. Okay. Okay, so shall we resume the revision part?